Well, what's up, guys? This is Fast Jimmy 71 coming at you from the Chicken Grease Garage with a how-to video. Yes, most of you guys have been sending me messages, and I I try to answer the messages when I get a chance. There's a lot of requests for different things. I'm not trying to avoid anybody. It's that it's really hard for me to get around to a lot of these things. But today, since I had a chance, I figure I'll do a little tutorial, how-to video on the items that you would need for scratch building. Um, so let's start off with the styrene plastic. I use Plasteric. You can use Evergreen. I use either or. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever preference you prefer, whichever brand you like. I use either or. It's no big deal. I use point 030. That's the thickness of the sheet that I use. It's not a thick sheet. It brings 5 sheets of styrene plastic in it. And as you can see, that is the thickness of the styrene plastic. It's not very thick. It's, like I said, a .030 material, and that's perfect for whatever you're gonna do. Some guys go with a little thinner. Some guys will go with a little thicker. But when you get into a little thicker, more material, it's going to be hard to work with because it's you can't manipulate it into different shapes. You know what I'm saying? You want to get it into curves and do all kind of things, and that's going to be kind of hard with a thicker styrene. So I would prefer to either go with a .030 or a step below that. For your best results in whatever you're building. Then you would need a sand stick. The sand stick is for when you put your parts together and you let them dry. You can sand them down. The rough spots. If you got a high or low spot, on the plastic. When you're cutting and you go to look and it's a little uneven, you can shave it down. It happens. It happens. You need a Sharpie marker. I would prefer to use a fine point. They got the different sizes, which is that they got that real thick tip. A Sharpie marker, but I prefer the fine tip. You need a ruler. You need a ruler. Don't eyeball. You know, don't. If you're gonna get into the scratch building thing, don't eyeball. Because if you eyeball, you're never gonna get your stuff right. You're gonna be like, oh well, I'll cut it like this or I'll cut it like that, or I think it's gonna be about like this. Or, it's never gonna come out right if you eyeball it. So you need a ruler, and you need an X-Acto knife. How are you gonna cut plastic without an X-Acto knife? You need an X-Acto knife. I change my X-Acto knives once they start to get a little dull. I change them, because you won't get a good cut on a dull X-Acto knife. Anybody knows that's in the modeling. That's in the modeling thing. You sharpen it. Your X-Acto knife start to go bad. You dump them. Then these are the glues that I use. Plasteric bonding. This is the perfect stuff for this. This stuff is like super. Then you got the Tamiya, which is my favorite Tamiya cement gel glue. I love this glue. I go through this glue like crazy, man. I need to get me some more. So this is the glue that I use. Or I use, two-part epoxy, or I use, the activator with, with the gel cement, where you put it, you use that stuff. You need to use it. You got to know what you're doing. I don't recommend that kind of cement for beginners. But this is what I use for my scratch building. If you're gonna get into the scratch building thing, measure twice, cut once. You'll never go wrong. That trailer was done all scratch with styrene plastic, styrene tubing, and everything you see right here is what I used to make that trailer. Um, with a little bit of imagination, you can perform. You can accomplish anything. I've always said it. You know, put your coconut to good use. You know, when those coconut juices start flowing in there, and you start getting all these cool ideas, then you'll come up with something really cool. So, um, well, that's the stuff that you would need to do your scratch building. You can make anything with this plastic. The sky's the limit, man. You can build anything. As you can see, I've proven it. I built the whole trailer out of scratch with just that. So, till next time, this is Fast Jimmy 71 saying peace, and you know it. Chicken grease. Scratch built your heart out, brothers. Laters.